Zero here, and today we're going to be playing Heat Signature. This is an asymmetric roguelike where you break into spaceships to kill and steal things. It was made by Suspicious Developments, who also make Gunpoint, so if you like this game, you'll probably like that game. At the beginning of the game here, you'll see that you have different characters to choose from. Each character is randomly generated with their own personal mission, traits, and loadout. He has a wrench and an acid trap, which is also not going to be that relevant probably for this gameplay. Acid melts armor. Armor usually makes characters invulnerable to regular bullets, so you have to melt the armor and then shoot them. Down here is the shop. Each shop is connected to all the other shops, so you don't have to go to each individual shop to find out what items is where. The shop, however, you do have to specifically go over to the shop and use. This is the jobs listing area where you'll have all your different quests and contracts. As you can see here, you'll have a lot to choose from. It ranges from easy, medium, hard, brutal, and mistake. Also, there are glory missions, which we are not going to get into in this video. Each mission has different details, different guards, and different bosses, all randomly generated. Let's check out this mission here. If I've completed it, it pays out 21. We'll get into the liberation progress later. Alarm response, none, meaning that if I get seen, there's really no consequence for it. It has a few guards, and non-lethal weapons are required, which the character that we have currently has a wrench, which is considered non-lethal, therefore we can do this mission. The guards will have guns and key cards, and the bosses will have wrenches and heat signatures. So heat sensors detect you whenever you reach into the bubble, whenever you walk into the bubble. So whenever you accept a mission, you go over here to your pod, fly out to the ship, and then whenever you get to the ship, you'll dock it. And then once you are docked to the ship, you can then see the insides of the ship and location of all the guards. So real quick, the pause feature in this game is unique in the way that whenever you pause, you can switch around items and aim and pretty much plan out anything that you want to do in the scenario that you're currently in with what you have. So right now, this guy down here has a key card. The key card is required to go through this door, or we could hit this terminal and avoid these guys. For this particular mission, since it's so easy, we're going to just kill everyone on the ship and then take over the ship, and we're going to send the entire ship back to our base. If you do that, it sells all the items that are left on the ground on the ship, so you'll make a little bit of extra money. So we're going to get spotted by this guy. He's going to run. He's going to run. And then we're going to hit this guy with a wrench, pick up the key. The only person that needs to be non-lethal is the target, so we can actually take this guy's gun over here, which is in this circle that you currently can't see. But you can teleport items pretty much anywhere around on the ship directly to you, and then it sits in your inventory. So we're going to pop around this corner, shoot this guy, and continue on with the mission. So over here we're going to equip the wrench. Guns attract attention, try to avoid attention. Alright, so this here we need the level 2 keycard, which this guy up here has, to unlock this door here, which is a cargo crate. Cargo crate has random items in them that can potentially be pretty valuable. So we've got the key, we're going to go down here, we're going to see what's in this chest. Rechargeable extreme range visitor. Alright, so there's one charge. Visitors you can teleport within the range that it allows you to, and it sits there for about 2 seconds, and then you'll pop back to where you are. It's rechargeable, which rechargeable items in this game are really good. So whenever you finish with the mission and you go back to the home base, you can automatically restore the charges in whatever item that is rechargeable, instead of it just being one use, which most items are. The extreme range just means that it has longer range. So there we just took out the pilot. So there's no one flying the ship, which isn't a big deal unless there's an alarm that says that it will flee or capture within a certain amount of time. Alright, so now we've gonna check this out. Extreme range key cloner, so if someone has a key but you don't want to kill them, you can just use the cloner and it'll give you a copy of the key. Don't really use it all that much in the past. Haven't really used it that much in the past. So once the ship is secured, you can go to the cockpit and set it to go to your home base. You see here the target's now automatically on my character, and I can just drop them off, and that completes the mission. Once you complete a mission, it'll give you all your different little stats here, and it'll give you the liberation progress bar. Once that bar is filled up, we will get into that a little bit later. So what we're going to try and do is actually fill up that bar. So here we have the target flees, it's auto-piloted, non-lethal weapon required, and concussive weapons. Now I don't particularly like autopilot because whenever you kill the pilot on these situations, it doesn't matter, you know. So we're going to try checking this one out. So jammer gates, alarm, target flees, but it's not autopilot, and they have emergency shields and whatnot. So this is going to be a harder mission, and I prefer the harder missions over the easier missions just because the medium missions are just way too easier. So before I board the ship, I want to talk about these lights here. They are windows. Whenever your pod gets in front of the window, if it's there for too long, the ship will shoot at you, and then it'll damage your pod, and then craziness ensues. So here we have a much larger ship than the last one, and our mission is to assassinate this guy way over here. So what we're going to do is figure out what we need. So we need a key to get into here, and we need a key to get into here. So who has the key? The key is on this terminal over here, so we're probably going to have to take out both of these guys. Now, I'll remind you, if we get caught, if we get spotted, the ship will then try and flee, and will be set on a timer to try and complete the mission before the target flees. Alright, so now we've just taken out the second guard, and we're going to go over here and unlock the doors. So now with the doors unlocked, there's a couple of ways we can go about it. We can either go through this door section here now and go through all this, or we can go on the lower end and try going through all this. So we're going to try and go through the lower end because that's more of a direct route to the assassination. Probably not going to be able to kill everyone on this ship. So we're going to walk along. Got a guard coming up with a emergency shield, so whenever they spot me out, the shields will come up, and there's nothing I can really do about that, but we don't have to worry about it because he's dead. Is this the pilot down here? I think we're gonna... Yeah, so we just took out the pilot, so we don't have to worry about the alarm system anymore. Now we do need this guy's key up here, so we're gonna go ahead and take him out, pick up the key, work our way over here. So this is a turret. It automatically rotates, and you'll see here it has these lines of sights, so whenever you walk into those lines of sights, they will automatically shoot at you. You can go up to it and just turn it off. It's not really that big of a deal. Now that we're past that door, we have to go through this third level door. There's a third level monitor over here. We're going to have to make our way to that. Go take this guy out. This guy's coming around the corner, and he's going to see his friend's body. Now whenever that happens, he turns on his shield, right? There's nothing I can do about that. I don't have anything to fix that. So what we can do... No, never mind. Alright, so what's going to happen now is that we're going to use the visitor, maybe? We're going to use the visitor and teleport away from the situation, and then hopefully he'll turn away to where we can get out of the situation. So we'll come over here, he's going to get confused, we're going to come back, and he's going to walk away from it. So then we can just continue on our way to the target. Alright, so now we have the target with a shield, so we have the sneak up on him. We have a boss with a shield, so we also have a sneak up on him, and the heat signature guard. The key for this is not around, so we're not going to be able to get into these special rooms and collect this loot. This mission, I'm just going to be worrying about. Uh-oh. I will take this guy out though before we get into this. I'm going to equip my wrench. Okay, so as I was sitting there, I realized that the terminal for that room's up here. So we're just going to go ahead and turn that off and see what's in these rooms. So we got another long-range visitor, but it's not rechargeable, so whenever you use it, it's just finished. Now, what I was trying to say earlier is that whenever it says assassinate, the wrench obviously isn't going to assassinate him, so we actually have to use a gun for this. So we're going to wait till he tries to turn around, and we're going to shoot him. Boom. Now, because it's even though it's a quiet gun, it's not a silent gun, so this guy was still close enough to hear the gunshot. So we're going to quit the wrench, we're going to run away from this guy, hopefully he turns off his shield, and then we're going to take him out. That lets us go over here to this room and get a rechargeable extreme range swapper. Swappers allow you to swap places with another character. You can do a lot of cool stuff with it. They can potentially just, if someone shoots at you, you can swap places with them and take them out. So now that we're this far in, I feel like I can probably take out the entire ship and secure it. But we're not really gonna try that. What we're going to do is make it to this piece of glass right here, and we're going to shoot it with a gun and get sucked out into space. Then we're going to control our pod and pick us up, and we're going to turn the mission in. Alright, so now that we're back in the station, we'll get the results from our mission, which you can see hard missions increase the liberation progress much larger than the medium mission. Once you fill out the bar for the liberation progress, you can then unlock a friendly station, which will let you have permanent bonuses depending on whichever one it is, which if we get to that, we get to that. Now here we have a hard mission with this portrait here, and this portrait means that it will lower the cost of trying to accept your personal mission. Usually these missions are much harder, but you don't have to necessarily pass the mission to get the discount. So here we're going to look at it. It has light reinforcements, many sentry guns, non-lethal force required. We have the wrench, so that's fine, and the enemies only have concussive weapons. So we're actually going to take this mission. So now that we're on the ship, these ships generally only have concussive weapons on them, so whenever a target shoots you and they don't have a lethal weapon, you'll go unconscious just like if you got shot with a lethal weapon. But both times you'll also be thrown out into the airlock, but concussive weapons don't harm you permanently like lethal weapons do. Lethal weapons, whenever you get thrown into space and you get picked up by your pod, which we'll probably see at some point in this gameplay, the time that you have later will be reduced, so you have to be quicker and quicker on picking your guy up after he gets thrown out of an airlock. Concussive weapons do not do that. Oops. Shit. I did not mean to go that quickly. Oops. Didn't mean to do that either. So, I accidentally moved here and opened up this door, and the turret shot the guy in front, so we're going to back up and go back into our pod. That's going to activate the alarm. It's going to cause some problems for us, but now that's one less guy to deal with, and they will not come into the airlock area. Now, the thing about defenders are that they have shields. I don't have anything to take care of shields right now, so whenever that character is close to these other characters, they are permanently shielded, and there's nothing you can do about that particular shield. So these characters are going to continuously spawn in for a while, and now they're going to be just roaming around the ship, and it's going to be a lot harder to get through this mission. I can, however, try and suck them through space. Suck them out into space. So we're going to wait for the turret to turn. We're going to step out and go over here to the side. We're going to switch weapons to the wrench. We're also going to get the key, because we don't have to be on the key to teleport it to us. And then we're going to get nothing else, because our inventory is full. Alright, so jammers. These guys right here are jammers. They're going to put down tiles that expand across the ship and make it to where my gadgets don't work in those tiles. So I have to go to the tile middle and turn it off for my gadgets to work again in that section. See, so now if I wanted to, say, teleport in this area right here, I couldn't because of the grid. So I'm just going to pop around this corner and try and shoot at this guy. I'm not sure if that's going to work. It is. I'm going to shoot both of these guys. Everyone else is too far away to notice, so not that big of a deal. Now we just have to turn off the turret. Oh, now the jammer spawned in. So turn off the turret. Oops. Alright, so we got a defender near the jammer, so trying to take him out was quickly messed over. Oops. Now we have the defender walking around. Alright, so now the defender is in these areas where these fuel barrels are. So I'm actually going to shoot a fuel barrel, and it's going to suck him out into space. Boom. So that's one defender gone. Now the pod is also gone, and it'll be sitting around in space, but if I don't get thrown out into space, it's not really going to be that big of a deal. So that's just kind of an example of how to try and think around the items that you don't have. So here we're beside the damning device, which we can just turn off, and then we can use our gadgets freely again, unless they put more jammers down, which they probably will. Alright, so now in this room we have 2 guards, so we're going to come over, shoot, and we're going to actually use this one-use range visitor, and we're going to teleport over to the side, equip our wrench, and smack this guy. Now that's going to be heard from a whole bunch of different people, right? So we're going to switch over to the swapper, and we're going to just pick a random place to teleport into, away from all these other enemies, probably down here. Alright, well that didn't work out necessarily, but it did work out enough to where this guy doesn't see us, so we can just try and run away. Wait for this defender to try and go farther away from us so we can continue on with our situation. Maybe take out this jammer if we're lucky. Alright, so now that the defender has walked away, we're going to pop around this corner and take out this jammer. Alright, so we're going to let this guy come up to us. We're going to equip our wrench. We're going to smack him out. Then we're going to wait for this guy to come down. Smack him out. The turret's going to face towards us. We're going to wait for the turret to turn. So I sped up time a little bit there, and this defender walked up on me. So what we're going to try and do is we're actually going to use another visitor and see if we can use that tactic like before. Oh, no, that didn't work out. Alright, so because this door was closed, I guess it didn't let me go into that area. So he's going to pick me up. He's going to drive me out to the airlock, throw me out. We're going to remote control our pod, which is kind of far away, but not really. pick our guy up. So you have a limited amount of oxygen, but once you get picked up, then it really doesn't matter. Normally, if it was lethal damage, it would make it aware if you it would normally make it aware if you got shot and thrown out. It'll give you a little timer at the bottom saying that you only have X amount of time for this to work. Alright, so this defender is actually going to cause us a lot of problems. This guy over here has an item on him that will try and steal. We're going to just use our wrench and hit him. Alright, so he had a key cloner, so not really all that useful. This terminal here messes with our personal intel, so that mission, or that objective secured. Oh no, this fucking guy. Oh, the jammer. So we tried to use a ability into the jammer space that I just forgot about, and it didn't work, and we got hit and thrown back out into space. So now that we're back on the ship, we're going to continue trying to take out all these enemies. We're going to check out this crate here. Hopefully it's something, a silent quickfire gun. Okay, cool. So we'll replace our quiet gun with that. Going to come down here, wait for the turret to move. Now we got this fucking defender coming back up on us, and we're going to just go the opposite array and turn off some of these items. Now we're going to equip the quickfire gun and shoot out the pilot and probably everyone else. Oops. Oops. Alright, now that we're back on the ship, we're going to try and do this, third time's a charm. So I have this defender to deal with that pretty much have nothing for, except for I'm going to lure him to this area here and shoot out this fuel. That's going to fire us both out into space. Boom. And then we're going to remote control the pod to come get us. Ship from throwing the defender out, we don't have to worry about the shields anymore, so we can pretty much go through the rest of this pretty easily. Go down here, shoot that guy and turn out the turret, destroy this jammer. And then we're going to come up here, switch to our wrench, be locked out because we don't have the key. So he's kept himself, wait, we don't have the key, but we can teleport it to us. We're going to come up here and knock him out. The ship is secured, and then we have this thing here, which is a concussive grenade. Not too worried about that. So now that the ship is cleared, we're going to go over here to the pilot's chair, and we're going to take the entire ship back to the base. Drop off this guy. We're going to get our progress to our liberation. Looks like we're only going to have to do one smaller mission. So let's see what our missions have. Alright, so we're going to just pick this medium mission here that has no alarm response, very few guards, and they only have heat sensors, so it's not really that big of a deal. We will, however, go down here to the stash, and we're going to put away some of these visitors, so we can just have more room in our inventory if we see anything cool. We also know that we're not going to see any armor, so we're going to put away the acid trap, and then we're going to call that a day, and then go into our pod. Now we're on the ship here, and we're going to dropped our wrench. Alright, so we're just going to shoot our way into this. So, oops, missed there. Shoot that guy. Now I'm going to get shot. So this will let you guys see how getting shot with lethal weapons is different than concussive weapons. So here, instead of the oxygen level, it'll say passing out. And so you'll remote control yourself just like usual. And then down at the bottom there, it will say a reduced time for the next time you need to be picked up if this happens again. Oh my. those doors. We're gonna come up here and take out the pilot. Might as well unlock this door here too. Come up here, take out the pilot. Just gonna go ahead and pop around this corner, shoot that guy. That'll be it. But we're gonna clear out the ship so we can just go ahead and fly it back to the base. See what's in here. Silence concussive gun. No one cares. Now that we completed this mission, we have a new liberation available. So I'll show you guys how to do that. Alright, so now that we have a liberation, we'll go over to this console and we will see what we can unlock. These sections here don't have any items available, but they do allow you to do special missions, I believe. And then down here, you'll see all these different pictures, and these are the different items that these stations will unlock in the shops permanently for all your characters. Because again, whenever you die, all the progress that you made with that character is gone as well. But this is a way to progress overall with all the characters. So we're just going to go ahead and pick out this one item that's the only useful one, honestly. And we're going to get extreme range key cloners in the shops. No one really cares. But this also unlocks a new type of mission, which is the bloodless missions, which means that you can't shoot anyone on that mission, otherwise you fail. So that's kind of just the gist of this game. So that's going to be it for this video. If you guys want to see more, then let me know. My next big project will be playing Fallout 1 all the way through, and I will see you guys next time.